Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for clicking on this Smashy Smashy Eggman movie reviews and more episode. We are moving right along with our When Animals Attack. We got 3 weeks left, 3 movies left to cover. And this week, we're talking gators, baby. We've got Lake Placid. I don't know why I decided to display both the Blu-ray and the VHS. I did the same thing for Bats. But, yeah, we're talking Lake Placid. This is a 90s classic alligator movie. And it is a great movie. You get Bridget Fonda, Bill Pullman, Oliver Platt, and I can't think of the other guy, Brendan Gleeson, all starring in this film. You also get a cameo from Mariska Hargitay, before she became famous for SVU in the very beginning of the movie. Basically, this movie takes place, it's not actually at Lake Placid. Like, the lake isn't actually called Lake Placid. The lake has a different name, and it slips my mind. What's that? Devil's Lake? Death Lake? It's something like that. But the movie's called Lake Placid. Basically, there's an alligator attack, and Bridget Fonda is called in. She represents the museum because they want to ID it, because what they have is a tooth, and it's a big tooth. Bridget Fonda is sent because her boss, who is also her boyfriend, has been banging Mariska Hargitay. And therefore, they just want her out of the office. Well, their breakup happens, and he continues his affair with SVU. When she gets there, she meets the local sheriff, played by Brendan Gleeson, who doesn't really believe what's going on. And Bill Pullman shows up. He represents Fish and Wildlife. He has a cantankerous relationship with Bridget Fonda, which will obviously turn out into them hooking up by the end of this movie, or after this movie takes place. Again, much like I said with Bat, this is another movie where it's an out-of-towner coming in and dealing with the problem of the animal. Eventually, Oliver Platt shows up, who is a rich man who likes hunting, who's interested in alligators and likes taking risks. He owns his own helicopter, and they begin their search for this alligator. They encounter it a couple of times. It's a big gator, and that is what they realize. And they don't know why this gator is here, because the gator it is definitely not native to the U.S. So they're figuring out how it survived and how it thrived to become such a large gator. As they're discovering this, they meet Betty White, who is the person who is responsible for why the gator is thriving. She's been feeding them. In fact, her husband got too close one day and was eaten by the gator. So she's been feeding the gators, and obviously she's reprimanded for it, because you shouldn't be feeding a gator. They begin to plan their attack against the gator. This is a really good movie. It's just, there's just a lot of extra in this movie, because the plot doesn't need a lot to get from point A to point B. So what's in between is filled with great character moments. Bill Pullman and Bridget Fonda's relationship growing. Oliver Platt and Brendan Gleeson doing great work as two people who don't like each other, but know that they need each other to accomplish what is going on. That's what the rest of this movie is. And a couple of good moments of, like, jump scares and gore as the gator goes after things. I enjoy this movie. Moving on to the plot, I just want to make sure, because I felt like I was racing through it, but there's a lot of mini beats in between everything that aren't as important, because they're just the character beats. Anyways, they set up a plan to use a cow as bait to draw out the gator so they can shoot it. They end up drawing out the gator. Their plan does not work. The cow escapes after being the world's biggest teabag. Like, literally, it was being dumped in the water. The cow escapes, so the cow survives. Like, you actually see it in the background of a shot, the cow running by. Though it's never officially said That's the only way you know that the cow didn't get eaten by the alligator. They're able to, when eventually the alligator is trying to attack Bridget Fonda, and I believe it's Oliver Platt. It might be Bridget Fonda and Bill Pullman, who are in Oliver Platt's helicopter, and it dives through the middle of the helicopter, and it gets stuck. The alligator is stuck. It has nowhere to go. It is shot full of tranquilizers, and they've caught it. Then Anaconda happens, and a second alligator shows up. So there are actually two alligators. Ha ha ha! We've only been told there's been one, but twist! There's two. The second one bites Oliver Platt but doesn't kill him. This one, they shoot with a big gun. They shoot it with a giant gun, and it explodes. So yes, we're adding another one to our exploding animals count. It's doing pretty well. It's doing pretty well. We've had a lot of exploding animals. I can't give an accurate count because I'll be fully honest, I'm filming this out of order, and the episode before this hasn't been filmed yet, and I can only go off of my memory. If I'm pretty sure there is. It might not be the ending, but I'm pretty sure something explodes in that one. And some of the creatures explode in that one, or one of them. That's why I haven't filmed it yet. Anyways, back to what I'm filming right now. So yes, sometimes things get filmed out of order. You watch stuff in a different order than you intend, and yeah. So yeah, that happens. I try not to make it obvious, but sometimes it happens. Anyways, back to Lake Placid. So they blow up the alligator. The second, I keep switching between alligator and crocodile. And let's see if the back of the VHS... Crocodile! It's a crocodile. Alright. The VHS tells me every time I said alligator is wrong. It's a crocodile. So the back of the box says it's a 30-foot prehistoric alligator. It's actually not a prehistoric alligator. It's just a big-ass alligator. There's nothing prehistoric about it. It swam, it's an Asian alligator that swam to America. And then followed a dude home, and they've been feeding it. It's not prehistoric. Does the Blu-ray say prehistoric? Let's see if the Blu-ray also says prehistoric. T-bomb with state of the equipment. Or is it a 30-foot prehistoric? They keep. I mean, all crocodiles are prehistoric. Technically, they existed. But when I read that on the back of the box, it makes me think this one's been around since prehistoric times. But it hasn't. Okay, back to the thing at hand, the movie. Back to the movie. They blow up the alligator, and they take the other one in for study. Everybody's happy, and yeah, it's Lake Placid. Overall, like I said, I really enjoyed this movie. It's a fun movie. If you can get it on Blu-ray, Shout Factory or Scream Factory has a great Blu-ray. You get the nice reversible cover on it. You got the movie poster, and on the other side is a little more. It looks more like a low-budget cover. I'm really surprised. They didn't put on either side the original. This. This was the art I was most familiar with Lake Placid. I swear, this that's the actual poster art. But I swear this was the poster at the theater. I didn't go see this one in theaters. I was seeing other stuff when this came out. I was aware of it, and I wanted to see it. I just didn't get a chance. Because this was 1999, and I was seeing a lot of stuff in 1999. I've said it before in another video. It's my favorite year of movies as far as my top 10 goes. I've seen a lot of stuff in 1999, and this should have been another one that I went and saw in theaters. It's just not. It's one I didn't get around to. But I swear that was the poster at the theater, because it was one. I think it's because I was seeing movies with my older brother at that point. Because that's just what we did when we were with my dad, is we went to go see movies, because both me and my brother like movies. And I think I couldn't talk him into this one. I think I was like, I want to go see Lake Placid, and he didn't want to, and we had to agree, so we would end up going to see other stuff. Which, we were able to agree on a lot of stuff. We saw stuff like Drowning Mona, which is one most people wouldn't have gone out to see, Play It to the Bone, Mystery Men, And I think those were all 99, early 2000, Detroit Rock City. Yeah, I got to see a lot of fun stuff. Just Lake Placid wasn't among that stuff. Again, would love to have gone to see it. I didn't get the chance. I know I say a lot because I don't script these things. But yeah, I like Lake Placid. It's a fun movie. The CG is pretty good. There are spots where the CG gets wonky, but for the most part, it's really fun. It's got some good CG. If you're a Betty White fan, R.I.P. Betty, she's in this. You know, it's kind of the start of rejuvenating her career, was Lake Placid. As much as that still took a couple of years after, you know, this is where people started going, oh yeah, Betty White's a thing. I remember Betty White from Golden Girls. It was because of Lake Placid. It's a great movie. It's a fun film, and I enjoy watching it and rewatching it and rewatching it. And I've never seen any of the sequels. I've never sat down for any of the sci-fi direct-to-video sequels. It's just one of those movies that I didn't think needed a sequel, nor did I need to go out and see the sequel. I think it's got like 6 sequels. It's a large number of sequels, is what this movie has. And Anaconda, Bat, those are both movies with sequels as well. In fact, one of Anaconda's sequels is also a sequel to Lake Placid, because it's Anaconda versus Lake Placid, or Lake Placid versus Anaconda. I can't remember who got top billing in that one. I feel like it had to have been Lake Placid, because they definitely had more movies at that point in time. But yeah, they're all movies that gain sequels that I never wanted to watch. I'm not sure if Arachnophobia got I don't think so. I think Arachnophobia did not garner a sequel. Deep Blue Sea is also on that list now, and that one took like a decade before that one got its sequels, but it's now a trilogy, and I've never seen anything other than the original. Because why? Like, these are all great movies that never needed sequels, and that because they were all direct-to-video, low-budget sequels, never interested me. Because why? It's just going to tarnish what is fun movies to begin with. Alright, I don't got a lot more to say on Lake Placid. Some of these movies, I mean, there's not a lot to say on them. We added to our exploding animal count. And yeah, if you ever want to sit down and watch Lake Placid, it's a great movie. It's probably streaming, given the fact that it was 20th Century Fox, you're looking at either Hulu or maybe Disney Plus in its R-rated section. I think it might be the adult section. This movie might actually only be PG-13. How does this not have a rating on the back of the VHS box? R. It is rated R. It's just very small. It's a very small R. So it is rated R, so it's probably Hulu is where you're most likely going to find it. Maybe, again, Disney Plus under the adult section. But, yeah. Lake Placid. I like this movie. It's a good movie. Alright, next week, we venture into the deepest, darkest Africa for our movie. And, yeah, it's one I haven't seen in a very long time. So, I'm excited to watch it. I'm excited to talk about it. So, tune in next week for that. Like this video. Share the video if you want. Comment if you got something to say. And subscribe so you don't miss any other content. I am Martin Prevost. This is Smashy Smashy Eggman movie reviews and more. And I will talk to you guys next week. Have a good one.